So I'm back on makecode.com now, click on my microbit, new project, and I'm going to call it buttons. I'm going to get rid of my start block, drop it into the delete bin and the forever block, and I'm going to go under inputs. Buttons are inputs. That means that if you do something to the microbit by physically pressing a button or doing something else, maybe shake it, then something else could happen. So an input is basically a signal into the microbit by pressing something, shaking something, and then you can make something happen. So we're going to make the different buttons or the shake make a new image appear on the screen depending on what button we press. There are other kinds of inputs, other kinds of sensors, think around the home, like say for example a solar sensor, a light sensor to switch your outside lights on at night, or a lighthouse, or let's say a temperature sensor that can sense the temperature of your house and switch your heating on and off, or let's say there's something like a fire alarm, again temperature sensor sets the fire alarm off if it gets too hot. So lots of different sensors, anything that senses something either by pressing something, or a sensor such as a temperature sensor, a light sensor, humidity sensor, which is water, all of these things are inputs. Anyway, we've got on button A is pressed under our input. That means when the button A is pressed, I'm going to get it to do something. What am I going to get it to do? I'm going to get it to show a heart. So let's play it. Nothing happens, but when I press the A button, the heart appears. Right click, duplicate, change the A to a B, change the heart to something else. Now on button B pressed, my smiley face should come on. Smiley face, heart, depending on which one I press. Now what if I press both of them at the same time? There's not a button to press both of them at the same time, but if I had a real microbit I could press both of them at the same time. Let's right click and duplicate, and I've got an A and B at the same time, and I'm now going to have a glum face. So now, how do I press both at the same time? Well, there's not a button to press both at the same time. On a microbit you'd physically get both hands and press both at the same time, but there's a white button, which means it doesn't really exist on the microbit, but it's simulating you pressing both buttons at the same time. If I press that one there, it should put a glum face. Now there's another one, it's not under buttons, but it's another kind of input, it's a shake. On shake, so if I shake my microbit, I'll now have another one. I'm going to have a Pac-Man Ghost. Now if I press A, I get my heart, B, I get my happy face, both of them at the same time, A and B, I get a glum face, and the shake one is here. Again, it doesn't really exist on a microbit, you have to actually physically shake it, and I get my Pac-Man Ghost. Try downloading it as a hex file, going in to your downloads folder, on the three buttons, show in folder, and drag it onto your microbit down here, and see if then you can get the different inputs showing each of the different images on the LED display.